We're dangerously close to wild card weekend starting, and we got to get some teams in one more time. So today, it's going to be one last run through the world of Underdog and our friends over at Drafters. And shout out to them. They're the only reason I'm doing a stream today, doing playoff best ball one more time here. We're going to go check out both sites today, learn a little bit more about both formats, and of course, wrap our heads around playoff best ball one more time here. The most important thing to look at is going to be this bracket. Basically, everything we talked about last week, we predicted here on this stream, trying to look ahead, trying to build some advantageous teams last week on stream. It all came true. So that's what we're looking at right now. You got Minnesota and the Rams, obviously facing off on one side of the bracket. Winner of that one will go against the 12. I guess the lowest seed will go against Detroit, so it doesn't really align the way it normally would in an NCAA bracket. Minnesota, the Rams over here, Washington, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Philadelphia, Chargers, Houston, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Denver, Buffalo, and of course Detroit and the Chiefs waiting respectively to face the lowest seed possible that's advancing forward. So right now we have some, obviously the best read we'll have at any point of the year to get some of these best playoff teams that we can get in. We're going to try to do that today. So the goal today is do some Underdog, do some Drafters, and let's check out Drafters first. I hope we're okay with that one here. Drafters presenting the show here, so please do support them. Go check them out. Promo code SPLASH Drafters for a $100 deposit match. And Drafters, you have a bit of a different format here. The roster and scoring is different than Underdog. It's one quarterback, one running back, two receivers, one tight end. So no wide receiver / tight end here. You're just getting full tight end goodness in there. Flex spot as well. Here's some of the bonuses too. If you put in drafts, you get a $1 or you get a $20 ticket for yourself if you're putting in 10 entries. Another ticket at 25, another ticket at 50, another 2 tickets at 100. So similar to you guys who followed along for the Drafters Million last year. But if you want to play along with Drafters here, you can do it today. And I see the chat's popping off. Hopefully I'm not muted. All right, there we go. Let's see what we're going to do. Joining the room now. If you want to play along with me on Drafters, let's do it. You can see my meager bankroll from the awful time that I had in regular season Drafters Best Ball. Let's see. Here's a good start to it. Hate playoff best ball. Drafters the teams, you get dumb snipers and it gets annoying. Yes, it does. I think for content, I think you guys enjoyed watching the last one. I'll say that. And by the way, 3 more spots on Drafters. So if you want to get into this Drafters Million with me, $20 entry fee. We should do it, please. I should have given you guys more of a warning about Drafters being first. Should have maybe done Underdog first and then Drafters. I'll wait. But yeah, for playoff best ball, I think the toughest part to me, and it's honestly how I feel a lot about the single game slates on Underdog. Same thing. Our guy Mathology was like, "Oh, are you doing the NBA Dog Bowl yesterday?" He was really excited about it, and it's like I'm not really, because a lot of those games are so much like combination focused games. I think playoff best ball is more of an extension of that as opposed to regular best ball, which I still think, I would say in terms of all the gambling stuff I do, regular best ball is like God's game, where it's just, also please join this Drafters room. 2 more spots left. I normally don't watch you guys in a room here, but this one, at least we're not competing in pods again. So that's more of a positive for Drafters. The point being for playoff best ball, like I think it is more of a combo game. I also think too, when you have people trying to advantageously kind of hop in earlier in drafts, like for the gauntlet, the non-time lock contest where you can kind of try to build these super teams early on. And a lot of people are very sharp about how to build those with using betting markets and stuff like that to, have the teams that they know are locked in, or just even using, playoff probabilities that a lot of the casual drafters don't. So I think for me, playoff best ball, a much more figured out game. That said, when you hop into a playoff best ball room, whether it is Underdog, whether it's, I'm sure going to be on Drafters, same thing. A lot of people don't know how to build teams, don't understand the concept of building for the Super Bowl. Even these total points formats, you do want to have players that are lasting the most rounds possible because it's total points. So I think that's sort of the main thing you have is like there's a theoretical edge because the rooms are softer, but then also the rooms are more frustrating as a result of it. But that's that. Lots of pieces going undrafted that will score in the Super Bowl. Sure. All right, we got the draft starting here. So we're going to check out Drafters first. Again, they paid me to do the stream today. Texted me last night like a booty call. My pal Zach over at Drafters, the co-founder over there. And excited to check out Drafters for this format. I actually don't think I did it last year either. They're doing some early best ball stuff too, which I'm trying to get them to buy in on a panel Spags to do some streams for that as well. But they've been a great partner for me. Again, a great site. I think the one thing I will say for Drafters is like, you're dead early on in regular season, which sometimes a positive. I think, sometimes a negative for the sweat experience if you just want to feel like you're alive, like you are in some of the tournament formats. But here, I think playoff best ball, I would say Drafters playoff best ball, probably even less figured out than the Underdog version would be. Let's see. It's a floor game. Okay. I don't know if playoff best ball is a floor game. The frustrating part of playoff best ball is like, especially on the underdog formats. For drafters, the total points, I think, kind of rewards you playing even more for the Super Bowl than you would normally. And here we're going to get a shot at Josh Allen up top. So we're going to get the guy in the thumbnail. Things are working out here so far on stream. I think the biggest thing for this format really is like knowing that you're trying to get Super Bowl teams, knowing you're trying to fill rosters for the Super Bowl, knowing you're trying to have here like that tight end spot, having to fill that, like that's almost when you have to prioritize a little bit more. And frankly, too, like if you're talking about tight ends, Josh Allen and Dalton Kincaid versus Lamar and Mark Andrews, maybe a little more reason to go Lamar's way. But I think just people really do have a hard time with the concept of like you have to have that roster for the finals, and that's like the whole thing. I guess on drafters, you still have to have more of the potential. Like this guy put up 30 in the wild card, but a guy putting up 30 in the wild card and you have versus another guy putting up 10, 10, 10, 10 en route to the Super Bowl. I think the latter still would matter more. So, and that's just general, I would say even game theory talk, basic, trying to figure out the format talk. But Josh Allen 101, we'll stick with it here, and we'll take probably stupid Dalton Kincaid as our tight end. That's the box we're going to be locked into. Unless we go to NFC tight ends, which can also be pretty narrow. Tight end itself, a narrow position. Shout out to all you guys hanging out here. Again, usual DFS schedule coming up tomorrow. We'll run through all of the playoff slates, the Saturday slate, the Sunday slate. It's also a Monday night football game. In fact, if you're not aware of the playoff schedule this weekend, I'll read it out because I know there was some ambiguity about timing and all that. On Saturday, 4:30, you get Chargers in Houston. That's East Coast time. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Baltimore at home in that one. 8 o'clock start time on the East Coast on Saturday. On Sunday, you get Denver and Buffalo, the 1 p.m. game. 4:30, Green Bay and Philadelphia at Philly. Washington, Tampa Bay is a night game, 8 p.m. on Sunday night. And then Monday Night Football, you get Minnesota and the Rams, a game which will hopefully be in Southern California. But obviously with the fires spreading around out there, a shot that moves to Arizona. So that's how that looks. Does Drafters have wild card battle royale? I don't know. Or battle royale format. Let's see. For some reason, I opened another tab and it logged me out. So hopefully it doesn't log me out on this tab. All right, I'm looking at it now. NFL. Yeah, they have a wild card round snake draft. 1,500 entries, 7,500 total. So what is that to first? First place, 1,500. So not that bad. Honestly, bigger prize pool than I would have thought for their version of battle royales. Taking a lady. Adam's got a lady. I feel like it's the first time I've ever heard you say the lady before. And the beach on Saturday. What beach are you going to? Where are you going to? There's even, I guess, Miami. Is it still warm enough to go to the beach? I guess it would be. It's fucking cold everywhere else though, man. It's really not good times. We're going total points, so I think James Cook has to be one of these picks. Let's put him in the queue. Yeah, I remember Miami now, but still that hot. I mean, all right. Thought you guys were like LA, where at least it gets kind of cold in the winter. Obviously, not so cold in LA right now. It starts to build out the NFC. Do I believe in Minnesota? I really don't think I believe in Minnesota. Let's take James Cook with this pick. Stop wasting the clock here. Laporta, I can't take right now. Shakir, everybody's going to grab in this particular spot. I like Minnesota, Detroit. But I don't think Shakir is going to come back to me. So I am just going to focus on the total points format part of things, take Khalil Shakir. Logically, maybe better to push Shakir a little bit. Total points format too. I wonder, I mean, the bye week teams, you get the advantage of them obviously being more likely to advance the Super Bowl by a pretty wide margin. I don't know how bye week teams work out for you as well in drafters. I guess your hope would be if I had taken Detroit guys there. I was thinking about Laporta, but I don't know. I think Shakir felt more necessary. There you go. 55 today, going to be 80 on Saturday. Well, all right. That sounds like decent weather. Taking the ladies sledding at 0 degrees here. It's fucking awful here. It was 19 out this morning here, and like so windy. Our trash, our recycling blew like over, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? So the recycling blew out. We had like this one gigantic box. I got a walking treadmill in the house because like I just can't fucking walk outside in this weather, and it drives me nuts. I like walking a certain amount per day because it just kind of makes me feel like I'm keeping things in control for the most part, which is a big goal when you turn 40. Is just keeping shit aligned enough as best you can. And basically like the trash is flying everywhere. This big box, I think the garbage guys took it because it was like a huge treadmill box. But I was like, did that fly away too? I hope not, because it was like it was like as tall as I am. It was like a 6 foot tall box. So, like, I hope that didn't fly away too. But honestly, that like the recycling can is blowing into the street. I'm like, I hope it doesn't fucking blow in front of a car. Ugh, awful weather here. But I guess, the alternative would be us being in LA. So that would be not much better right now either. But shout out to all of our guys in LA. I know we have some that watch the show regularly. So hope you guys are doing okay. We have friends in LA that we certainly are checking in on and concerned about. So that's how it looks. But yeah, the fucking wildfires are really, if you haven't seen the footage of it, I don't know how you have it at this point, but like the New York Post, like not homepage, but like their front page of the paper was just like, I think it was Hell A was the title on it, which of course New York Post has to be quippy always, but like just burning embers of a street. And like, it's really sad. I think, the rich part of it, I get it. Like you want to go, oh, celebrity house being burned down, whatever. But it's just still brutal, especially for the non-rich. All right, so we got our Buffalo 4-pack here with Allen Cook, Shakir, Kincaid. I think we got to start building out from the other conference now, or we could take Amari Cooper and just go full Buffalo mode. Do I really believe in Buffalo making the Super Bowl? That's a question I feel like I have to ask myself more, because the markets certainly do. I'm not sold. I'm not 100% sold on that. But let's just get our Buffalo core here. I mean, again, we are going for 1 QB, 1 running back, 2 receivers, 1 tight end. Now we just need a flex. So our flex will probably not be from the Buffalo side, but we got a base here that can do enough to fill out most of a roster. So we got the Buffalo very chalky, I have to imagine, a 5-pack up top. Amari Cooper, by the way, not with the team, unless that's changed in the last day. So that's something to watch out for. Amari Cooper certainly not playing would open up things more for Keon Coleman in that wild card round. Would also probably make Amari Cooper pick that hurts some playoff best ball teams on Underdog, because I think teams are probably built with Cooper being like the one wide receiver that could fill out a roster. So it could be pretty tough. So the Joan footage doesn't even look real. Looks like a war movie or something. If only they had more water. Looks like Gotham. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Who does old Adam have? Let's find out. OSU, Texas. All right. OSU. Apparently the Cowboys want to interview Ryan Day. Oh, Cooper practice is pretty good. I missed that. So that's good. It's like personal issue last minute was kind of odd, but he's like a pro. So it kind of surprised me that he wouldn't be there. But good to know that he's back then. So bump Keon Coleman back down. Amari Cooper theoretically safe. Good to know. Yeah, I haven't dug into projections for the playoffs yet. I have to do that a little bit more today. Got to do my fantasy points column. My prop betting column continues on to fantasy points this week, by the way. And last week we hit on anytime touchdowns for Audric Estime, and there's one other really esoteric one. I forget who it was offhand. But I was very happy with the way I closed out the year on fantasy points. So that column, surprisingly, they want me to keep doing throughout the playoffs. So maybe they're like, what else can we keep fading every week? But that's how that's going. Let's go Nittany Lions. I wasn't impressed by Drew Aller's numbers. I'll tell you what. If you missed the video yesterday, by the way, and it's, again, not a sexy video, but if you want to know where the prep process begins for me, how I approach things when looking at the numbers and all that for the college prospects, QBs are on the channel. Yesterday, you could check the homepage at Splash Play Pod on the YouTube channel here. Also, it should be on the podcast feed. I get rid of episodes because I don't want to pay to store the episodes forever. So the podcast feed, they cycle in and out. But on the YouTube channel, there's going to be a playlist on the homepage where you can check out if you want to watch those videos. Starting with QBs next week, either RBs or wide receivers, not sure which. Might have to do 2 next week because I think the big board is at danger of launching any day now. But the prep process starts now for me. I had some good pushback. I fell in love with Jackson Dart a little bit numbers-wise. Our guy Adam pushed back in the chat a little bit. Claiming on Marion Hampton. All right. There we go. Is he going to be as good as Ladd? Find out. Ladd was one guy I was going through some numbers because I had to update my sheets for like the last time this year because SIS, I don't pull in playoff data, but I don't even know if SIS updates for it specifically in the way that I pull data in. So which is great, by the way, to be done NFL updating for the year. It's legit 50, I mean, more than that, honestly, probably like 150, 200 different CSVs I pull in from Sports Info Solutions that are all like the different splits and whatever. That was my last one of the year. I saw Ladd McConkey was like, he was like top something in routes in the red zone, which I was surprised by. He ran a lot of red zone routes, which is not what I would think of immediately for Ladd McConkey. All right, we got to start building out Oppo stacks, but we also do need, we have more rounds to do it. I'm going to go Keon Coleman here. We now have a full Buffalo team, so that can carry us through theoretically the Super Bowl. Again, probably pretty chalky, though I don't know if people will push the stack quite this much. And I think we're going to go down the depth chart a little bit here in terms of NFC bringbacks. I'm going to go to my pals in Washington, who I think will help me in round one a little bit, this matchup with Tampa Bay. I also do believe, and it might be a controversial take, I believe that Washington can advance, and I think Washington can advance 2 rounds. I think making the Super Bowl would be a little bit tough. It would be hard for them to win in Detroit as well. I think it'd be difficult. 2 rounds might be asking a lot, given where the Commanders are seated. But I do believe in them enough, and I'm going to take the shots in playoff best ball. We're just going down the depth chart a little bit more. Again, some different guys that could have a shot at making it alongside this Bills alpha stack we have. We're talking college. There we go. It was sexy. Saw it trending on Pornhub. Thank you for that. I'd like to see Day get fired, though for sure it would happen after they lost to Michigan. Right? I feel like, what has Ryan Day done wrong that he would get fired? Trey Harris, the rookie wide receiver sleeper. I'm not there in my prep yet. I will have to say wide receiver. I mean, again, I want to spoil stuff. I'm going to find out and kind of, discover with you guys more on stream. And also, I haven't dug into wide receiver enough. Wasn't super impressed by wide receiver this year. One guy I was impressed by, which I don't know if it's a name you guys are going to care about because he went to Utah State or he's going to Utah State. Jalen Royals jumped out to me as a Zay Flowers-y kind of guy. Pretty elusive. A little bit smaller, seemingly going to run pretty fast, running the 4.3s. I was also looking up 40 times this year, which I did not do in previous years. But yeah, I think that the issue with the top receivers, Tet McMillan doesn't seem that fast. Luther Burden, I think, also not that fast, despite being kind of small. Maybe he'll test differently, but I couldn't find, I think it's 40 time. He had a listed 40 time of 4.5 or a projected 40 time of 4.5. Which seems really bad, but that's what Walter football had for him. For the rookie wide receivers, you are not getting last year's class, it looks like. But again, my big theory was just that they might have a little bit more opportunity for, guys to just test better athletically every year because of these tests being something you can kind of prep for a little bit more now. So I think if we have guys like McMillan and Burden coming out and running 4.4s, I think that'll be more of a cosign that RAS testing's been figured out. The top prospects can get their athleticism where they need it to be in time for the combine. And if McMillan and Burden don't test well, they're probably going to crater because they both project to be in the 4.5s. McMillan, I think, is projected to be a 4.55 guy, which would be really slow. Troy Franklin wasn't fast enough last year, according to some of the RAS stuff, and he ran a 4.4. Not a great offensive class for rookies. Last was the opposite, much more defensive talent in the draft. Yeah, I mean, there aren't a lot going in the first round. Ashton Genty even, I mean, again, not to spoil everything because I'm spoiling multiple videos. Look at Genty's numbers. I still like him. Really not a great pass catcher, which he kind of needs to be at the next level. So that's a little bit spooky to see, I think. But yeah, weird stuff. Weird stuff for this draft class compared to last year where it felt like, the last 2 classes really were kind of loaded. Wide receiver, I guess 2 years ago wasn't loaded, but I thought the prospects looked okay up top with JSN and Quentin Johnston. And they did kind of come through, at least in year 2. But yeah, I haven't been as wowed by anybody. The big thing that wowed me and really overall so far was the Jackson Dart numbers, where I was like, whoa, this guy. And honestly, the Jalen Royals numbers, I see something there where I think he's a guy that maybe you find a little more value in. All right, so we need more RBs really here. I mean, we're going to take Brian Robinson because you do have some Washington stuff going, which is completely fine here. Don't want to do Bucks because we're playing Washington in round 1. Man, all the shitty teams here are kind of gone. Green Bay is probably getting eliminated this week, but they're alive for now. I'm going to go Jaden Reed here. Just trying to pick off some NFC teams that could theoretically pair at this point with this Buffalo mega stack. And we really are hoping the Buffalo part of things carries us. The tough part for me is I think this Buffalo team can produce a good amount of points throughout the year, throughout this run of the playoffs if they do get to the Super Bowl, which is obviously our bet if we are taking this many Buffalo guys. But the issue is they're going to be such chopped up production anyway. We're going to have a bunch of guys putting up even if it goes well, like 15 fantasy points. I don't know if that helps me win really in really this format, but we're going with it anyway. Was impressed by the Jackson Dart data and your QB breakdown. Yeah, I mean, you'd be more impressed if you joined the channel and you could see the full data sheet for yourself. I dropped in the Discord yesterday. But yeah, no, like the numbers looked really good. As Adam pointed out, he did say it was some soft competition and all that. But yeah, like it is with things to me where if you look at that overall body of work Jackson Dart put up, especially for me too, where like I had written Jackson Dart off. Like I really thought when he left USC, it was like, I don't think he's our guy. And like the fact that Lincoln Riley is letting him get away probably speaks to that a little bit. And you know, guys like Malachi Nelson like left USC too, and he's done nothing. He went to Boise State, couldn't win that job. Now he's transferring again to like UNLV, I think, or some shit. Point being, like for Jackson Dart, I didn't expect a lot, but those numbers to me, like they were, again, if you knew he's getting first round capital, he'd be the best QB analytically this year in the draft, I think. But we don't know he's getting that first round capital. UTEP, oh, that's it. UTEP for Malachi. That's right. Yeah, Malachi, man, I was so excited to see him because he was kind of like a taller Kyler Murray is how he looked out, at least in high school. And now we're talking 2 transfers. You can't win the job at USC. You can't win the job at Boise State. Sadly, I think he's probably done. Yeah, he was higher than the Arch. He was higher than the Arch on a lot of them, I think. I was so excited to see him. Honestly, I was excited to play him in a video game, and like he's not even a part of the video games. All right. We got Dobbs here. We're just going to keep building out our shitty NFC stacks. Would like to also get, I feel like Emmanuel Wilson has kind of passed up Chris Brooks lately. Check the snaps last week. Emmanuel, I might not have enough time. Emmanuel, no. All right. Emmanuel Wilson played, oh God. 27 snaps last week. Chris Brooks played 18. It's Emmanuel Wilson for the Packers. For the 11th round Packers you're getting on Drafters format. When you can't get Josh Jacobs, you take Emmanuel Wilson. That's the play right now. Emmanuel Wilson passed up Chris Brooks again, surprisingly. Let's see. All right, nothing relevant in the chat. But yeah, look, I think the rookie stuff's gonna be fun here. If you want to see more of my takes on those coming up every week, again, maybe 2 next week because I want to make sure we're ahead of the big board and I have my takes finalized. And then I might do like one more last video when the big board's about to launch too, as kind of summing up everything because I know people don't want to follow along and sit with me through me sifting through Excel sheets. But that's the process. That's the process. Make sure to grab. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. I can't believe he didn't play at all this year. I really have a hard time believing that he couldn't play once. I think it's really one of my big issues, but that is what it is. Like fucking Cade Stover had appendicitis too, and he was out 2 games and he came back. And the thing too is like with what I saw last year, where like I like Quentin Johnson in year 1. I'm ashamed to admit it in hindsight. I had 2x field on Quentin Johnson, and this year I was like, you know what, he sucked. Whatever. The stuff I saw from him in college that I liked about him just throw it out the window. And granted, he wasn't great this year in terms of like the real life football stuff. He had so many drops. He produced like a motherfucker this year. If I had Quentin Johnson on more of my best ball teams, it would have looked better. So like, I think the main thing for me this year is not giving up on my year 1, year 2 guys. Zach Charbonnet is another one I loved heading into year 1, but I was like, this year just really felt like Kenneth Walker locked the job down. And he did initially, and then he got hurt like Kenneth Walker always does. So I think not giving up on guys another part. We got Brenton Rice lost his number to Des Fitzpatrick, I believe, who signed with the team as like a kick returner. So Brenton Rice is now doesn't even have a number anymore. Yeah, Brenton Rice was a tough one, but at least he was like free. I still stand by the fact that he should have gotten something going. I think he got screwed by being on that Chargers offense when like he was getting playing time when they didn't want to pass. I think if he'd gotten out there when they were willing to pass more, he might have been okay. That's that. QJ was 2023 Brandon Cooks, not good, but 8 touchdowns somehow. The thing is, he was really good against zone defense. Like the splits were really marked in how bad he was versus man. He couldn't get open, like no yards per out run, like 0.5 yards per out run. And versus zone, he catches like every touchdown possible. And he's like phenomenal. So I think that's the bigger issue with him, but it is what it is. Brendan Rice, rest in peace, Brendan Rice. I don't know, but he might be back next year. Who knows? All right, we got Ty Johnson here. One more Buffalo guy. Why not? Final team here loaded with Bills. We got Josh Allen, James Cook, Brian Robinson Jr., Emmanuel Wilson, Ty Johnson here. So not the greatest RB room in the world for sure, but hopefully James Cook can get us through the wild card round. And if not, we got Brian Robinson playing at least one round there, Emmanuel Wilson playing at least one round. Khalil Shakir, Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman, Terry McLaurin, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs. I like getting the free Green Bay guys on top. I don't mind that. Buffalo tight end here. Dalton Kincaid, our only tight end, feels pretty flimsy with how bad Kincaid is, but you have to have the one tight end. So that's a team. I think when you load up on one team like I did here, you're just going to end up looking worse for it. You know what? Let's jump back and forth, right? We did one on Drafters. Let's go to Underdog now. Switch it up a little bit. I'm going to do the cheap tournament, assuming it's still available. Yeah, we got a mitten here. Let's do a mitten. And your guy Vaporware is not here, so he won't take all my picks and do that. Oh, fucking location bullshit. All right, let's try that again. Packers path Super Bowl got fucked from last week. I mean, yes, I think that with them, they would have certainly rather not played Philly. But honestly, Jalen Hurts has been so banged up that maybe he got a shot. And honestly, still a chance. Like, he hasn't cleared concussion protocol. He's been limited in practice. So you maybe get a shot that you do get him not playing somehow, which would certainly open things up more. It would also completely screw up playoff best ball. Anyway, we got a bunch of spots here, so flock into the room if you must. Seems like a relatively weak wide receiver class compared to the last 2 years. QJ may keep his spot. Yeah, maybe. I mean, depends what happens in free agency and all that. I think they bring in somebody else that will probably make me feel less good about Ladd McConkey. I got to say, Ladd McConkey is getting mocked like top 2 rounds in some of the early rankings I've seen out there, which is crazy to me. Like, some of the guys I think that are most likely to get messed up in terms of their early ranks and then somebody coming in. I feel like Chase Brown is one guy where they have to bring in somebody else there with how he especially did in short yardage situations. And I like Chase Brown, but like I think that he's got to move around a little bit. And also we're on Underdog now. Please do check out Drafters though. Drafters, decent shot of overlaying on there right now. And that's always one of the selling points of Drafters. Promo code SPLASH on Drafters. Check that out. And of course, we're now on Underdog, $1,000 of bonus cash, promo code SPLASH. Link in the description down below. And here we'll likely get one of Lamar or Josh Allen and a little bit of an easier format to narrate or manage for my head. Navigate's what I was looking for. Navigate for me right now, but we'll see what these guys do. And Philly, an unbadged drafter, which sometimes can really wreck a playoff best ball room, but who knows? You haven't ruined my perception of Ladd. It's just the archetype of player he is. Just doesn't do a lot for me. But look, he was the guy that helped me cash well. Like, I wouldn't have finished top 80 in the big board if it weren't for him. So what am I going to do? But I do think, like, I just don't like certain players ranked too highly. And I really feel like for me too, with how Christian Kirk burned me, there is an archetype that I'm a little bit scared of. And I do think that Ladd is in that same archetype. But yeah, he got touchdowns on the home stretch and he's running a lot of routes in the red zone. So more power to him. But I do think that team still fundamentally, though, the big issue I have with the Chargers, and it's not really a Ladd-specific one, is that, like, if that team gets better, they do want to run the ball. They just didn't run the ball this year because they couldn't. Like, they were running it as much as they could. They realized it had diminishing returns. They then started to pass more when they kind of hit the wall with how that team was running initially with how they wanted to approach things. As a team gets better, has a better O-line, a better defense, and just, like, can get away without having to drop back 40 times, like, I think they're going to. So that's, like, my fundamental kind of disbelief. But yeah, that's that. Home and DJ Chark wins me some money this postseason. Need to recoup some from the past seasons. I don't know if that's your spot to get that. I would really have a hard time taking a non-Chargers receiver besides Ladd and QJ. One of the tight ends, maybe, but they're all getting healthier there. Congrats on the big board final. Spags got a little board through. Yeah, I mean, look, they were all tough. All the finals were tough. You didn't have one of the really big spike week guys at receiver. And it was like, yeah, I had Jefferson putting up 14 points in there. It wasn't my fave. But I got 3 finalists across the big board with only 62 entries. So that really was like a good run out for me. And big board, I have to say, like I threw exposures out the window in the big board, which I don't know is really the way I should draft. And this year too, frankly, there isn't going to be as much of a rookie advantage to press. Like Jaden Daniels doesn't exist in this class. So that's the downside. The real advantage to press would be if I'm going to make a bet that Jackson Dart becomes Bo Nix, I guess. I don't know. And I also, too, need to do a better job of, like, combing every running back a little bit better this year. Like, last year, a few guys that just weren't in my early process I kind of wrote off and never got to. Tyrone Tracy was one where, like, his numbers actually didn't look that bad for me, but I just wasn't buying it, I guess, is really the big thing because of how it came on late and nobody really had him in the draft process mattering that much. But those are things for another day. Wish Derrick Henry. This team is stupid already over here, but that's fine. Derrick Henry gone. We can't get him. Justice Hill is going to be back, so that's a positive. Let's go Mark Andrews for one of these picks. We do want to correlate. We're not going to have Zay Flowers week 1, and he's falling as a result. I think we should probably keep pushing him a little bit. Let's just take Mark Andrews for this spot. Welcome back, Mr. Mufasa. Well, for you, if you care so much about college data, you should check out the Discord. Make sure YouTube is synced up. Just attach your YouTube to your Discord in the settings on Discord and check out the link there. I should post them in the community tab too, but I didn't. I'll start doing that though. But if you want to see the data, it's linked in the Discord, so check it out. All right, we got. I think it's time to take an NFC guy, maybe multiple. I think we're gonna go the Minnesota route. I feel like Bills Rams happens a lot. We'll go Ravens Rams instead. All right, so Lamar Jackson, Kyron Williams, Mark Andrews is a start here. We're hoping that we can push Zay Flowers down. The issue is, like, we're not going to get Puka Nacua now, but I needed the RB more because we're going to have to play Justice Hill at RB for our Baltimore stuff. This is playoff best ball. Playoff best ball, like Justin was talking about in the beginning, you're just getting naturally sniped a lot. So that's underdog playoff best ball a little bit more. For drafters, to its credit, I got that Buffalo team really clean. So we'll go back to the drafters after this one. It's going to swap back and forth a little bit here, but shout out to drafters again. The only reason I'm doing these drafts today, I would have probably done them anyway, but the only reason I'm really doing them is because of drafters. So support them. Check them out. Drafters.com, promo code SPLASH. You can do it on the app too when you sign up on there. Anyone know if Drafters is going to run a promo free ticket for one area to fill up 20? I pulled it up already. For 10 entries, you're getting one free. For 25, you're getting another free. It's the same deal as the Drafters Million, where they're giving you a bunch free throughout. Looks like it's, just to read it off one more time. You get one free entry at $20, one free entry at 10 drafts, one free entry at 25 drafts, one free entry at 50, two free at 100, and then one free again at 150. So that's what they're giving out as bonuses. So if you get 10 in, you get one for free. Is probably the easiest to do. But if you're not on Drafters, deposit now. Use that promo code SPLASH and get over there, because we are going to hop over to Drafters again once this draft ends. So check it out. Oh, these guys are taking their sweet time here. Maybe they know I need to plug things. Maybe they don't. So this guy's got Derrick Henry and Patrick Mahomes doing a great job. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Love the Red Badge Drafters doing great work over there. I was thinking about Aaron Jones last round, so I'm going to do that here with one of these picks. So we got two RBs from the opposite conference. The issue is that I'm an idiot and they both play in round one. So that was stupid by me. We're going to get them out, I guess, is the good part of things. But that was dumb. That was dumb. Shouldn't play two teams or two players from the same team theoretically here. Obviously, will help our advance rate with this Lamar, Kyron, Aaron Jones team. But now we got to do something different. That was not good by me. Zay Flowers here, going to at least build out the Baltimore part well. I mean, realistically, my hope is that we just need one RB from the NFC to get there for me. But I'm going to try to take from the opposite side of the bracket. So 5 and 4 seed. So it's very plausible that these guys face Detroit. But if we took Washington, then they wouldn't face Detroit, and they'd be okay to advance and then face Washington the wild card. So we're live for Washington players still in this team. That'd be okay. Oof, tough one. Like Bateman over Flowers, I'd like to get both ideally. But I wouldn't like Bateman over Flowers. I think when it comes to the money time, no pun intended, of course, my great bit that it's carried me through for so long. When it comes to like playoff time, though, when like all the chips are in the middle, I think you want to get the ball to Zay Flowers more. Like, I like Bateman too. I think he's played honestly better than I would have thought based off of how he disappointed me coming out of Minnesota. But you know, like, Oh, Bateman went already? I like Bateman. The real advantage for him at this point is that he's playing in the wild card round, but like I don't think you need him. We got to get some more shit in here. This is a really tough team to build around. Let's take Minnesota guys here, get some more wild card production. I think I might take another Rams guy too coming up next. And then we're going to have to dig down for Baltimore shit receivers like Aguilar. Ugh. Yeah, this is definitely a Justice Hill team. That's certainly true. All right. Cooper Kupp going here. So we got Minnesota Rams. I mean, look, we're going to get teams through to round 2, I think, with this build here. Assuming Rams Minnesota has some scoring in it and they're not thrown off by the game being potentially moved / the destruction in the area they live in. I guess. Took Bateman. That's the Jalen Hurts drafter taking AFC pieces. The issue is he doesn't have enough guys for... See, this is a stupid team too. He's got one KC guy, one Baltimore guy, one Buffalo guy, one Houston guy. He doesn't have enough Eagles parts to go with it. I guess he's going to try to do it with Gainwell. That team's too thin too. This is like the part with playoff best ball that I think is frustrating is like you look through and your team suffered. Yeah, half these teams are ass. Your team, including mine, probably. Your team suffered for other teams to also be shit. Like, that's the part of playoff best ball that I don't enjoy, I will say. Where it's like, if you're suffering because, like, oh, this team, like, the first playoff best ball drafted into the year, this guy, Jordan, who works over at SaberSim and is constantly in the Badge Bros Discord channel. And honestly, like, seems like a really sharp guy. And I enjoy his SaberSim content too. But, like, the first draft I was in, he was just sniping me to death on, like, some Buffalo players, I believe, and when I had a Bill stack going with Josh Allen. And it's like, I think that that's the pain point there is like, at least that guy's building a logical team with it. This guy in this spot here is building a dog shit team that makes no sense and is drafting too many guys from too many teams. And it's like, I just kind of have to suck it up and deal with that. And it's like, that's the part. People will ask why I don't do as many playoff basketball drafts. Like I might do it more next year if Underdog will build it into my deal. But like, I don't have a blast doing these. I think they're more suffering to try to get combos. And that's not where I want to be necessarily. Suffering essentially is all part of the plus EV plan. It sucks, I guess. But it's like, then you just know too that there are rooms out there. Somebody got the clean Super Bowl shit that you're trying to advance with this lopsided Frankenstein team. And I don't know that that's any better. All right. So we got Baltimore, Minnesota Rams. We could theoretically tack on one more team here. And I think we're gonna tack on the Commanders with Brian Robinson. Give me one more out for a Baltimore stack that's not very good with Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers. I don't know. Like if a team like this won the playoff best ball, I'd be like, this was stupid. that shouldn't happen. Jake Ferguson and Puka Nacua got you to round 2 last year, but their teams didn't win round 1. Good point. But the thing is, like, you know, you don't really want to get to round 2, I guess. All right. Not sure what that conversation point is. Mm-hmm. Good to have some unique builds. To me, like, the uniqueness that I like is, like, taking wildcard teams. Like, taking wildcard teams people don't think are going to win. So, like, what this guy's doing here, I don't know if the rest of his team is good. Are you taking Washington? I don't. Okay, never mind. It's like, I like that he's taking Denver because at least Denver, it's like, okay, Denver beats Buffalo somehow. They've now completely fucked up the entire situation. Denver then beats KC in round 2. And like, you now have like a really unique team advancing with a really concentrated offense theoretically of like Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, and I would guess Javonte, but you could take whoever. I think that's at least like kind of fun. We're going to take Zach Ertz here, by the way. So we now have theoretically full rosters for every team that could make it from the NFC. So we have Baltimore with Rams, Baltimore with Minnesota, Baltimore with Baltimore, and Baltimore with Washington, with Lamar Jackson, Kyron Williams, Aaron Jones, Justice Hill, Brian Robinson Jr., at wide receiver / tight end, Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers, TJ Hawkinson, Cooper Kupp, Zach Ertz. So look, not one of the better teams that's ever been built here, but if we're not getting great parts of Baltimore, not getting Bateman either kind of hurt. At least we've got enough to get through the wild card. Zay Flowers will be back in the divisional round, assuming Baltimore advances. We just need, and then we'll have one of Minnesota and the Rams advancing. So we're going to arbitrage some players naturally from picking two sides of the same wildcard game. I think that team still works functionally for me. All right, we're back to drafters now. We're doing the backsies, fourth seas here. Another Drafters Playoff Best Ball Championship for me, $20 entry fee, and 5 spots to fill. So I'm going to need your support here, guys. It takes a while to fill these. Go to Drafters right now, promo code SPLASH. You can probably get in the room with me here. I'll shout you out. I'll say you're really cool if you deposit right now with that promo code SPLASH on Drafters and hop in a playoff best ball draft here. We can talk about the prize structure. Let me pull up a different tab because I don't want to lose that count. Prize structure, $50K to first place, $20K to second place. I'll share this tab. $10K to third place, $7,500 to fourth. What a beautiful structure here. 10th place gets a little bit less than 10% of first. So, maybe not the perfect ideal for some people's GPP structure, but close enough for me. And then if you finish top 2,792, you get $35. You make a profit. So no entry fees coming back in. Profits only coming on Drafters. So there you go. No eliminations. That's right. Total points. 3 more spots to go. Woof. You'd be doing yourself a disservice. Nolan, you better reset that password, buddy. Get your sweet little behind in. Dobbs are going undrafted. I mean, it's because the Packers are probably going to get eliminated in round 1. I'll tell you what, Packers advancing would really kill a lot of early Eagles because Eagles are going everybody in the first 2 rounds and Devontae lingering a little bit behind. Honestly, you think about sort of the game theory stuff. Going Packers, you would gain a lot of EV from advancing a Packers team. Especially if you're drafting smart and you're not taking, Eagles with that. And you probably did well. 2 more spots left here on Drafters. Again, we'll ping pong back and forth for 1 more in Underdog as well. But again, please do check out Drafters. Really, they are a great partner to the site as well. As I always mention here, I only partner with companies that I think are doing good stuff and that, are adding value back. And also that support the show. And they do support the show. Drafters has been a good partner for me now for a couple of years, I guess. But in particular, last year. So check them out. Drafters.com, promo code SPLASH. And go give them a shot. Fucking the Eagles in the first couple rounds. I'm pounding Packers late. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, so we got our guy Chunk in this room. We got Iceberg, DFS, Varncast, Tommy Mac, Heart78. I don't know if you guys were in the room. Shout out for being here. If not, whatever. Let's see what we get. Hopefully something fun. I'd like to have fun. It may not seem like it sometimes in the stream here with my very serious hat and demeanor, but I do occasionally enjoy fun. Building a sick team would be nice. I'm ready to draft. I don't think they're going to click the button, but I'm ready to draft. Sip of water here. Cheers to all you guys. Hope it's less cold for you than it is here. Splash Play coming up, NBA channel, 4 p.m. today at Splash Play NBA. Check that out. I'll be on Stochastic as well again today, 5 p.m. For the old deeper dive. So check that one out. The Fun Enjoyer. That's my nickname. They call me Mr. Fun Enjoyment. They have multiple nicknames, really. Stone in Dallas. There we go. Not Miami, though. We learned that. How much more valuable are Chiefs Lions in this format than Underdog? I think less. I think less because you're losing the wild card. I think a wild card team advancing here and making the Super Bowl matters more to you because you're getting that 1 more round of points. Because, it's possible that you have a shitty Super Bowl and, the teams that win in a total points format are all just were really well built, crushed the championship, and then maybe they have, 1 or 2 Super Bowl parts. At least I think that's how that would work. We get a shot at Saquon here. Let's see if the room does cool boy stuff and lets Jalen Hurts come back around. But I think Chunk here might take Jalen Hurts, which I would get. If he does, we'll go AFC side. Gonna have to get cute here. Chiefs pieces may not score a ton even if they get the Super Bowl. I would disagree with that. The Chiefs become a different team in the playoffs. They just start fucking slinging recklessly. It's one of the most annoying parts of the Chiefs offense overall is that In season, there you go. Chunk takes Jalen Hurts. The dream of getting an Eagle stack on the way back would have been nice, but I think that happens in some rooms. Wasn't happening today. I think the Chiefs are going to go a little bit more nuts in the playoffs, would be really my guess, because it happens every year. Like, you get more desperate times, you're facing better teams, you have to become the drop back Chiefs a bit more, and I think that's what happens here. But that's that. All right. We can't get away with taking just this team, but I do think going Eagles-Chiefs feels logical at this point. But let's see what we can do here. So Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley paired up, and Travis Kelce goes the next pick. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Maybe I should have, Deegs. Maybe I should have. Kelce is someone I want more of in this than I did in season long. Probably accurate. Right next door to the Eaton Fire in LA County. It's weird that they all have different fire names. I think that's confusing to me. Look at this bullshit wind is blowing west. Good for you. I'm glad you're safe for now. Hopefully you stay out of the evac zone or whatever. It seems scary, so we're doing all right from what we know from our friends over there. One of our friends, a lot of her parents' friends have had houses that got seared as they were in that zone. Not great. Yeah, I think we do need that Dallas Goedert now. I think we do. What is this? Oh, Lamar and Goff for this guy? What are you guys doing? Is this setting? This guy's taking bills too? Get the fuck out of here, all of you. All right, Devontae Smith, come on down. Chunk is going to take fucking something that hurts me. Playoff best ball is really... It's like the worst things of regular best ball just crammed into one draft. It's like, I mean, not the worst things, but stuff that people hate, like the week 17 correlation, the playoff best ball is that times 10. It's just all a disaster. Why are more people not talking about the possibility of Chargers being Chiefs in the divisional round? Classic, can't be the same team 3 times in one season narrative. Because it's not that likely the Chargers... I mean, I guess it's not that likely, but it's theoretically less likely that the Chargers advance out of round 1. I guess they're wow, Chargers are a favorite? I haven't looked through totals yet. That surprises me. All right, so Chunk didn't do one of the things I thought he was going to do. So we'll take Dallas Goedert hopefully at some point here before Chunk goes again. I need more AFC guys. I need more Chiefs. I need more everything. I'm going to take Xavier Worthy here because we need a receiver for a Super Bowl matchup. But look, I think this is a fair point. The Chargers are a sleeper, though Adam is clearly biased for the Lad McConkey of it all. I think the whole point is like just take whoever you want out of the wild card. Like I think Houston's probably undervalued. Really, that game's undervalued because theoretically you would need Pittsburgh or Denver. The tough part of the Chargers is like they probably do have to go to KC because I really don't expect Pittsburgh to win. Really don't expect Denver to win. That Lamar Josh Allen game in round 2 that's most likely to happen is going to be a really highly rated battle, you would think. We got to take Goddard here. Can't risk him going to chunk the deuce. Dallas Goedert, you are my tight end here in this Philly KC Super Bowl that also needs another QB to go with it. Hardly any Lad. Well, then it'd be even funnier if the Chargers made a big run for it. Also, the Texans has a sleeper. There you go. I mean, that's it really is like the best sleepers in general are just any team that people aren't drafting. So like Green Bay, I would say they upset the Packers. They have to go and have another tough matchup versus the Lions. It'd be a really brutal path. But yeah, if that works out, like you do win a lot of money for that. It's just like, that's the sort of challenge of playoff basketball. I think like the way that I draft is like, I just take some wild card teams. Usually this one, obviously we're not doing it, but in general, I like to take the wild card teams and just say like, all right, if this team gets there, I have a much higher shot of a bigger payout. And like, and then if it's just the chalk hitting like it was last year, I just get fucking dick stomped in playoff best ball. And that's sort of how that looks generally. This year, though, some of the chalk's a little bit better because you do have the, Lamar stuff up top, Josh Allen, at least those guys are there in the wild card. When it's like bye week guys up top, like who, have the highest shot to make the Super Bowl, that sort of, I think, messes up the playoff basketball enough. And you end up with big chops like you had last year in some of those finals. Texas interior O-line is so bad, going to struggle with the Chargers. Maybe. I mean, it's not a good total, I'll tell you what, which would be the first thing I would look at. All right. We need More Chiefs pieces for sure. DeAndre Hopkins fits that criteria. Come on down, DeAndre Hopkins. Pacheco with the Q tag. We'll let stroll around a little bit. Certainly he is in play as well. And if not, we'll build another AFC team because we need a QB in week 1 with no Patrick Mahomes. Guess I could build an NFC side one and build another 3-man. That could be the way to do it. Build an NFC wildcard QB instead of another AFC team that could make the AFC title game. Okay. All right. I mean, Bucks already have been going. Bucky went. So we might have to go down the depth chart a little bit. Thor Bjornsson is out for PGA people. Okay. I wish I had played PGA more frequently. I played a little bit during the pandemic, but did not play it much after the fact. Because I would love to build a Splash Play PGA channel just because it'd be really easy to monetize. And I would like to play Playoff Best Ball, or not PGA Best Ball and stuff like that. All right, so now's a tough choice. Where like we have our KC guys here who correlate well with us. We also need to start considering some NFC teams that are not Philly potentially. And I think we need a second QB, and I think we need Jaden Daniels here. You know what? This is the time, actually. One of our very generous guys who had a good run in Playoff Best Ball sent me money to buy this. And hey, let's do it. Your Jaden Daniels. We'll go full screen for it. We drafted Jaden Daniels. Go Commanders 5. It's a Fanatics jersey, though, which kind of bums me out. But we got Jaden here. Shout out to Dave. I know he didn't want a shout out, but shout out Dave here. It's relevant for today. We drafted Jaden Daniels. I don't know how much I'll be wearing this in Best Ball next year because of the fact that he's going to be priced so highly. But hey, for this year, we got at least one Jaden putting the jersey on. My Anthony Richardson jersey buried here, wrinkly, untouched. But it is also still here. The tradition of having jerseys of men that I enjoy a lot in a given football year continues on. Chunk here to sniping this poor guy with Baker Mayfield. Just abusing him for no reason. All right. We got Terry here. We do have the Chiefs RBs here. I think we need Terry the most. I'm going to go Terry. So Mahomes and Jaden, Saquon Barkley, who will be with us in the wild card round, Devonta Smith, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, Terry McLaurin, Dallas Goedert. Oof, this is tough. But the Commanders, if they did advance, would likely face the Lions. So we might get Philly, Washington, and the title game if that were to work out that way. That's that. I don't need a lad jersey. I think whatever the opposite of that would be. Pacheco goes to Iceberg DFS, who has just been building bullshit teams. If Iceberg, if you are in the chat, are you watching the videos? I don't know. I don't think so. He's just grabbing dudes. This team is not going to win because it doesn't have enough to make it to the Super Bowl unless these guys all score 1,000 points in the wild card round or divisional round. Not the most likely. Golf is nice for 4-day sweat. The part that I hate the most about golf is not like when you have the lineups where it's like, oh shit, I have like the nuts, and then one guy missed the cut. and that's that. Bucks dominating Washington? I don't think so. I think Washington wins it. I get it. I get people like the Bucks. I think it's a shootout though, no matter what. We got Kareem Hunt here. We'll take him. So Mahomes, Jaden, Barkley, Hunt, Devontae Smith, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, McLaurin, Goddard. So we got our KC side mostly put together. We could take another KC piece or two. Philadelphia, Washington. We could add more Washington, I think. I got to read that one. Sure. Is there a team I'm taking a deeper stance on? Not really. I just take whoever's available that fits the build. I've probably taken the most Rams, I guess, out of that. I have no issue taking Commanders. I think they could win at least week 1, win the wild card round. But I don't really. It honestly feels like a pretty flat playoff to me. The AFC, it feels like it's hard to not imagine it coming down to one of the Chiefs, Bills, or Ravens. For the NFC, I legit think any of those teams can win, or at least advance enough and then lose the Lions in the title game, would be my thought. But even then, they could probably still win it all. I'm going to go Noah Gray here. Need the second tight end. We've seen Noah Gray spike, and we didn't get Kelsey, so Noah Gray works. Bucks don't have all their key guys. They have one guy in a car accident. They've also had guys that are still Q tags right now that are banged up. And they also aren't a good defense, so I don't know. They haven't been good at any point this year. Why would they be good? No chance. I mean, look, they can win the game for sure, but I think Washington does. It's a spread right now. Washington, 3-point dog on the road at Tampa Bay. It's a low total for Washington. So to your point, defense getting a little bit credit in that total, I think. But I still think the Washington Commanders have a level to hit on offense that they haven't hit yet. I mean, that they've shown glimpses of, but haven't fully hit in a game. Like you kind of have to in the playoffs. And they're probably going to have to against Tampa Bay. And frankly, too, look, Evans has been a key part of this offense, and now he's getting his arch nemesis, getting the Joker to his Batman back out there. So that's that. Zach Ertz went, which would have been another tight end, I think, to consider adding in here. Still got Brian Robinson here. I'm going to add him in for Washington. At least we can get another guy for the flex if we get Washington advancing meaningfully. That Washington +3 at the beginning of the week. Well, you're keeping your EV. You haven't lost any CLV yet. That's good. Washington D kind of hitting his stride at the right time. I don't think the defense is good, to be clear. I think they've gotten really lucky this year. But, numerically, the Washington defense is better than Tampa Bay's. But they are 2+ EPA defenses, like Tampa Bay giving up 0.07 EPA per dropback. That's the entire season's numbers now. 0.08 EPA per pass. Washington giving up 0.02 EPA per dropback. 0.02 EPA per pass. It should be a shootout. I'm surprised the total's this low, to be honest. But, Washington games just sometimes go that way. Maybe a few more field goals. Who's Super Bowl pick this year? I think for me, it'd have to be the Lions. I think Ravens D's gotten a lot better. I think Ravens Lions would be my pick. And honestly, I don't think I've taken that combo a lot in general playoff best ball because they're just not that easy to get together in the way that I would like. Washington's a run funnel. They're not a good pass defense. They just kind of muck things up in the pocket a little bit. But I think they're very susceptible to get thrown on violently. I think if they did play Detroit somehow, they would give up 50 points to Detroit. I just don't think the Washington defense is good. I've watched a lot of Washington this year. Obviously that's one of my obsessions with Jaden and all that. And I just have not been impressed by Washington's defense at any point, really. They remind me a lot of Denver in the back half of last year, where they weren't good, but still kind of kept getting results. All right, we probably need one more pick here at receiver, I would think. This is awful. I'd love to take something that correlates, but I need a wild card piece, I think. All right, Quentin Johnston, you're just flotsam. I would say a panic pick. I just don't know what the logical pick would have been at this point. Jahan Dotson? No. Another Washington piece going to Zacchaeus? Maybe, but I don't think we needed it. We got Mahomes and Jaden, Saquon, Kareem Hunt, Brian Robinson Jr., Devontae Smith, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, McLaurin, Quentin Johnston, Dallas Goedert, Noah Gray. So that's the team here on Drafters for number 2. I'm going to make sure Drafters gets their money's worth. So let's ping pong back for one more round. Going Underdog now. Let's build one more Mitten team over here. Then we'll do one more Drafters team, and then they will hopefully love me and feel good about themselves. All right, here we go. Entering a Mitten here on Underdog. If you want to join that one at the same time, go ahead. Thanks, Nate. I appreciate Nate being here. I am still at it. Doing a little bit better with the monetizing of it too, but I appreciate the sentiment, Nate. Hope you're doing well too. All right. In fact, it's the only thing, Nate, to keep me going when Football Outsiders fucked us deeply. But It's like a year though. We've got a real business going, which is good to see. And we're picking at the sixth turn here. So what are we going to get? I don't think I've picked the turn in a playoff best ball draft yet. So I got no idea what we're going to do in this one. Sauter guy chunked it in the last one on drafters, but I don't think Jalen Hurts falls in this room. Oof. Okay. Fun one to figure out. This is a long stream. I'm doing a Davis Maddock length stream. Might be competing against Davis now. Davis streams all the fucking time, I feel like. Running up against him. Eagles 10-0 when their core offense is healthy this year. One of a few teams that can rush the passer without blitzing. Probably the best offensive line, defensive line combo in playoffs. Yeah. I think they're a good defense. I think they're kind of going the wrong way with how things have broken down the stretch, but I think it's plausible they lose to Green Bay. But I think they could make a run too. The most likely outcome would be a Philadelphia-Detroit NFC title game. I think that's the most obvious one. But I think Philadelphia a little more vulnerable than they probably would have been or would have seemed 3 weeks ago. I don't even know that it's that I don't trust Hurts. It's that I don't trust the offense overall as much. Just how it comes together, I think is the big issue. Where it's you always have somebody unhappy. I think is the big part of this offense. So somebody's got to sacrifice because the other piece that's got to get fed the most and get there through volume mostly in the run game. Kind of pulls from the other pieces that like to bitch and be a little bit mad. Still good enough defense. Still, I mean, I worry about Jordan Love. Malik Willis has won games, and I think done interesting things with it. It mostly comes down to the defense. If the defense can stop Philadelphia, they have a shot at winning that game. I don't think that's a crazy take, but Green Bay's defense has been really good. They just have gotten shelled by really good offenses a couple times. All right, Gibbs goes. See what this creature here does. Takes Saquon Barkley. Saquon was falling. We won't get that value there. I mean, we talked about, I talked about Baltimore and Detroit. I'm just going to try to do it, I guess. Let's go Detroit here with Derrick Henry. So we got Derrick Henry, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Try to build it out. I don't know how can I capture all of my stuff here where I like Baltimore. I like Baltimore, Detroit being the Super Bowl. Obviously, Detroit has the bye, so we got to figure out something else NFC-wise maybe. We can't take Baltimore's QB, though. So we're going to have to Jared Goff goes. Gibbs drafter couldn't pass up Goff. All right, so now we need something that is not this lineup. I really thought the Jared Goff draft or the Gibbs drafter might do something different and build an AFC team, but no, he feels like his Detroit team. So now we're running into the exact same thing I talked about last draft. This guy's team is fucking my team. His team will still be okay, but not a particularly good version of Detroit. I have a part of Detroit and a part of Baltimore that means absolutely nothing here. So I'm going to have to take these guys. I mean, that's not even an advance rate piece for Amon-Ra St. Brown either. Oh, I hate playoff best ball. I really fucking do. God, need an overall underdog deal just so I can have a reason to be doing these drafts because I hate them. Ah, there you go. You got it, Rod. Thank you. The moment you tune in, I'm sure. Oh. And part of me wants to just keep taking Detroit guys. If it's got to take J-Mo here, I'm going to fucking take him so he doesn't get him back. Fuck up my build. I'll take J-Mo and Laporta here. I'll die on the ship. I'll blow up the pod. He didn't fucking take J-Mo? You fucking cock? You suck my fucking dick. I don't care. This isn't, you know what? This isn't like fucking throwing the room. These guys were all at ADP. No, you don't get good Lions now. Fucking piece of shit. Take Xavier Worthy. No. Taking Bo Nix late. I'm taking a fucking Denver stack to hurt this pod even more at QB. And that's it. I'm taking my min cash and I'm not making any money back. And I'm hitting the bricks. The fuck out of here. That shit. You want to fucking snipe Lions? Snipe Lions. Take the fucking Lions. NFL Tebow. Fucking wish he were out of the league. Like the other Tebow. Yeah, go ahead. Now take a bunch of pass catchers from the AFC. That's what you deserve. That's what you deserve, Tebow. Ooh. Playoff best ball. Yeah, I AFK'd from a team the other day. I was like, I started a draft and like then the treadmill I got arrived. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta get this treadmill. And I totally forgot I had a draft going. And it was an illogical draft. It took like 8 different players from 8 different teams. It was terrible. It was terrible. Time to tell myself a story with the Chargers. Yeah, look, I mean, we could get Derrick Henry advances to the AFC title game where they lose to, I mean, I think the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos would be a little more fun. We will have some Chargers coming up here. We got some more Lions to take. We could take David Montgomery. Really load up on Detroit Lions here. A team that we would love to build around. What's this guy got to do? So you got Goff, Gibbs, Worthy, Bateman. You might as well take David Montgomery at this point and just make your Lions RB bet. There you go. All right. Yeah, there you go. Don't let David Montgomery come to me or he's not coming back. Lesson learned, I think. A valuable lesson learned for that creature. We got Ladd here. We're taking old Dobby. And hopefully Justin Herbert doesn't get sniped. There we go. A Ladd team. Hopefully Adam is still in chat so we can see this moment. The team so far is a disaster. A 0-2-4. We got Derrick Henry, J.K. Dobbins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporte. A lot of bye week guys at receiver. Ladd McConkey. So we got a Chargers team here that's going to face those Ravens in the AFC title game. Is the story we're telling us here. When methodology tells me to do something, I listen. Oh, I'm landing the plane. I mean, the plane's going to land in the Hudson. I'm going to hit some geese, but the plane will get landed. It'll still be a team that functionally works. We could fill out a Super Bowl roster is going to be my hope, but I don't feel good about it. And I blame NFL Tebow. If he's watching this, I hope he knows he's made a powerful enemy. I shouldn't have the jersey on anymore. I didn't draft Jaden this round, but I got to wear the jersey a little bit. I don't know how many times I get to wear it. Especially if Jaden's price tag is like fucking top 3 rounds. I'm not going to be wearing Jaden. I'm not going to be wearing this Jaden jersey very much in big board season. Chargers beat Houston, go to KC and wins. I mean, somebody did want me to do that before, did suggest that before as a concept. So there you go. It's Chris Sully Spags. Yeah, my mustache, my big white Sam Elliott style mustache here that you'll always remember. I'm not even showing the board. I'm not in good draft streaming process right now. But here we go. You can see the board clicking. You can see what this genius NFL Tebow does with this team. Take another AFC receiver. Why not? You don't have any Detroit ones. Take Tim Patrick. Oh, that's going to be just as good as Amon-Ra, Laporta, and Jameson Williams. This is admitting, yes. I'm not doing any gauntlets. The fact that's not time boxed and the fact that I would get just this sniped and lose more money. Not for me this year. The Buffalo guys just hanging out, just chilling. Nothing to do for them. We got to take Justin Herbert with one of these picks, I think, just to be safe. Let's do that. Justin Herbert. And then we need more wild card receivers, certainly here. Who would not face Detroit? I guess Tampa Bay wouldn't face Detroit. McMillan, we got it. QJ, I think we can wait on a little bit here. Maybe not, but I think we can. QJ would make sense, though. But I would like to get some wildcard NFC receivers, was my thought process. And McMillan still being here kind of surprises me. But both valid. Just because streamer enjoys fun doesn't mean he has to have fun. That's true. I'm not legally required to have fun here. In fact, I would prefer to have fun. I'd love to have a great time. In reality, I'm very unlikely to do so. Shout out Mathology for kicking massive BBM this year. He did indeed. And he shouted out the Squirt Squad on Underdog content, which, more than we get in general from most. Chiefs winning a three-peat, controversial call late, and NFL Twitter is going to melt. Well, you're a Chiefs fan, right, Justin? So I think you're rooting for the house there. But yeah, look, I don't think that's a crazy thought. But I think the Chiefs are going to earn it again. Like, again, the Chiefs in the playoffs have become a different team. Like, they're gonna try to run it, and when they realize, oh shit, we actually have to pass, Mahomes is going to drop back and be good Mahomes again. It's stupid. It's the stupidest team in the fucking world, really, with how they approach things regular season. But I wouldn't be shocked if next year. I wouldn't be shocked if they push the pedal on offense a little bit, because like some of the whispers about Mahomes this year, like there was some QB he got compared to. Oh, Aaron Rodgers. He had the same year as Aaron Rodgers statistically. Like that can't feel good. Even if you're winning all the games and you win the bye fairly easily. I think you maybe push the offense a little bit more, especially if all the pieces are there and healthy next year. But we'll see. We'll see. Because my bet this year is that the Chiefs were not going to push it hard, and they didn't, and that was one of the things I was most correct on, I think, out of everything. The Worthy coming on late, I think, I don't know if that helped enough to stem the losses, but he did help advance some teams and win people some money in some of the big tournaments out there. But I think the Chiefs offense, like, I don't know you could do that again next year. That was almost like an embarrassing level of non-effort this year for them. But we shall see. We shall see. Anticipate Josh Allen, Lamar, Jaden being the top three in big board rounds 3 to 4. I think that sounds right. I really would prefer it if Jaden went like 5, 6, just went late. This Bills shit is insane. This guy got with Josh Allen. He got all the Bills guys kind of fucked. We got Minnesota, Tampa Bay, I guess. But he pushed Shakir, Keon Coleman, and Kincaid all the way to the end. I have not seen that happen very often. Deep State Comics got like almost like a collusion-y room, like a collusion-y level play here. The guy took Quentin Johnson for me out of spite at this point. Fuck that guy. Fuck NFL Tebow. These rooms, man, always is meant to make me miserable. Tampa Bay pieces. Is Cade Otton going to play this week? I think so, right? Because he was in practice. We're going to take Cade Otton for more Tampa Bay advancing pieces. And then we need one more Chargers player, I think. Is it Disley? It's probably Disley, right? Josh Palmer banged up. Wish I should have just taken QJ like you guys suggested, but should have known that NFL Tebow would find a way just to fuck me just enough on that one. We got Will Disley here. That's that. Final team is a team. A 1-2-7 team here with Justin Herbert, Derrick Henry, J.K. Dobbins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, Ladd McConkey, Jalen McMillan, Cade Otton, Will Disley. So enough to get through the wild card round theoretically. I do like having the non-Mike Evans Tampa Bay pieces in case he gets sucked in the Lattimore Island for the umpteenth time. It is not Shark Week. I don't believe in DJ Shark even a little bit. I'm sorry. Even with Josh Palmer hurt, I still don't believe in DJ Shark, which could be a flaw in my process for sure. Let's do one more on drafters here, even though I think I have fulfilled my obligations in terms of this ambiguous ad buy that I got last minute. We'll do one more here. We'll have done then. That was 3 of each, right? That's accurate. No, because I started with drafters. Do I do one more drafters? What do we say? All right, whatever. One more drafters. Fuck it. I don't care. You want to watch me donate on draft? Oh, that filled immediately. All right. Hot start on drafters. Our last one here. Again, if you appreciate the stream, if you got some value out of it, even if it is just watching me suffer and die a little bit on stream, please subscribe down below, hit the like button, leave a comment, and do check out drafters. Again, doing the stream in large part because of these guys saying, hey, could you do a stream promoting the best ball drafts one more time? It's like, okay, sure. So check out Drafters, promo code SPLASH on there. Just go to drafters.com or download the app and use promo code Drafters when you sign up. You'll be added then $1,000 in bonus cash deposit match on there. So check it out for yourself. And that's a pure match, not a 50% match like some of the other sites out there. So check that out for yourself. And yeah, and that's it. Drafter, I'll keep the sticker up. And subscribe down below with the like button, leave a comment, of course. Splash Play, the channel that marches on all year long. And unlike some other ones out there, I do it all. Like, I'm not just doing playoff best ball. I do, of course, the regular season prep already for 2025, starting with the rookies. The big board will be a key feature here on the channel coming up. Of course, when BBM opens, maybe some DraftKings this year. I don't know. I still have to find the contact at DraftKings. I actually technically do work with DraftKings now through Unabated. And I don't get anything out of DraftKings. I would like to get them to go, here's some money for streams. Here's like everybody else does. That'd be nice. Dare to dream. Dare to dream. All right. We did not get 6 clicks on Let's Draft. So I'll have to wait this clock out, it seems. Oh, man. DFS is going to be fun this weekend, though. 2 game slate on Saturday, as I mentioned. Again, if you're tuning in right now and you missed the schedule this weekend, I'll read it one more time because we're filling some time while this draft starts. Chargers and Houston at 4:30 on Saturday. Then Pittsburgh and Baltimore in the night game. Sunday, you get Denver and Buffalo. Buffalo almost a 10-point favorite there, 9.5. Philadelphia, 4.5-point favorites at Green Bay at 4:30. Washington, Tampa Bay, only a 3-point spread favoring Tampa Bay at home in that one. And I'd prefer it be a 1-point spread if I really wanted to feel good about my Commanders touting. But I still think Commanders win. I'll die on that hill. And Minnesota and Rams, 1-point spread favoring Minnesota on the road there. Where on the road, we'll find out. Well, I would assume there would have been a lot of Minnesota fans at that Rams game in a normal situation. If it goes to Arizona, I'm not sure how that'll work out for them. And yes, it is indeed total points on Drafters. Total points. So try to prioritize your wild card teams making a Super Bowl run ideally. Frankly, you should be prioritizing that on both sites, but definitely more in total points. It's like they don't want us to watch football on Saturday with those games. It's not the best pairing. I'll give you that. In fact, probably a really gross DFS slate now you're saying that. Now that I'm thinking about it. Because it's like you jam in Derrick Henry. You maybe play Joe Mixon or Dobbins, who everything's going to win in that game. And then there's a bunch of receivers who probably aren't going to do much, along with Nico Collins, in the hope that he does something. It's probably the bill. And if Zay Flowers is out, it's even worse. All right, let's see here. We didn't get Saquon pushed around, which is fine. Let's go Jalen Hurts at the 5 spot. And hopefully we'll get A.J. Brown on the way back around, I guess. All right, so this guy taking Detroit. The ever so slight of a fall for Derrick Henry. A.J. Brown would be logical here. A.J. Brown would also be the person that everybody in the spot would pick with. But we need the full draft, or the full playoff round, rather, for total points. So let's not take Derrick Henry. A shot at the Lamar draft for getting Derrick Henry here, depending on what Cobretti does. Cobretti probably a little bit shook by having only Barkley at this point. You play Deontay Johnson on Saturday, you can, I think. He was getting in. He was getting in more, but getting his targets mostly, though, when the game kind of got away. Like, I think his first target was from Davis Mills, unless I missed something there. It's a little bit tough. But he's probably got to get work at this point. In the playoffs, especially if they were to fall behind it all with the Chargers. Yeah, he's probably a playable play. Lots of Minnesotan snowbirds in AZ. Be a massive home field advantage for Minnesota. Interesting. I mean, it's a last-minute ticket no matter what. It's a lot to ask for. Shout out to all the juggalos and juggalettes. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. It's always a key thing we say here on Splash Play. I should open the shows with that. Oh, good. This guy took Devontae Smith. Love to see that. Taking his Bills, Philadelphia, with very little Philadelphia involved for him. Great. Great. Oh, man. Playoff Best Ball, I feel like it was a game made by people meant to make us fight amongst ourselves. Just make us go full tribal warfare, because this is just fucking bullshit. Just to not even get a shot at like having a double stack with Jalen Hurts that's good. Unreasonable. All right, we still need an RB. We still need a tight end. We fucking need everything possible. I'm just going to take some AFC receivers and let's hope it figures itself out. Save Flowers, who won't play this week either and won't matter. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Khalil Shakir, another player. This guy, though, coming fucking late. Like, do I have to take... I'm going to take Travis Kelce. I'm just going to take bullshit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Drafters is paying me just to throw my fucking hands up and go, I don't know. What am I doing here? What's the point of this? Lord of the Flies. Yes. Drafters is a Wild West sometimes. It is indeed. All right, Bindles here. Shout out, Bindles. Appreciate you being here. Jesus Christ, man. Best Ball's fantasy sports Squid Games. A little bit less artful. A little bit less aesthetic. I wish Drafters or Underdog were super Art Deco looking, like that weird labyrinth Schrodinger's fucking house that they have in between the various rounds of Squid Game. Whatever architect built that place was on one. Like, you don't need the stairs going up. Like, you're going all over the place. It's insane. You have let's say there's hypothetically, no spoilers. Let's say there were a shootout in that area. It's crazy how many fucking different little nooks and crannies there are. Anyway, Squid Game Season 2, pretty good, though. I did enjoy it. Thought it did live up to the whatever need there was for it to exist. And honestly, one of the more interesting creative ventures as well, because like the reason that Squid Games exists, Season 2 rather, is because the creator didn't get paid enough for Season 1, and then like they just had to do a deal to do that. I won't tell you, but if there were, it'd be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? But good Season 2, really good Season 2. I enjoyed it. All right, what is this fucker doing? Like, why don't you take more Minnesota? I just can't. Another tight end for Dallas Goedert here. We got some random AFC pieces from good teams. Baltimore. Hey, Zay Flowers would normally be good, especially if you were playing this week. Unfortunately, he's not. For Squid Game, though, the creator got paid big money to do Season 2 and the Season 3, which will be coming out, I guess, in a couple months. So shout out to him getting the bag. On this show, we support people getting the bag more than any other show that I think exists in the industry. I'll tell you that much. We need some shitty RB pieces here. Can't get Pacheco. I'm just going to go get Kareem Hunt, I guess. Oh, yeah, Dez. He's not even Dez. He's Tez. Tez. But I think we're going to do is take... I don't even know, man. Honestly. I got to tell you guys, I've mentally checked out of this draft. I just like, this team is fucking gibberish. We're going to cobble it together. But like, we need another KC receiver, I guess, which we can still get. Would need another Baltimore RB, which I know we can get. That's that. Good. That's a good outlook to have. Flowchart. Did he get the bag? Yes, support. Guess it's like, did he get the bag like the way the Hawk Tua girl did from selling a meme coin or spot being whatever she had, being affiliated with a meme coin and taking the money away? That kind of bag we don't support. Did they mostly ethically get the bag? Support, I think would be it. Did they get the bag within the prism of reasonable ethics that you or I would ascribe to? Yes. So I do wonder sometimes, like, could I sell a meme coin? Like, would somebody do that? I know I'm not like it seems like they're mostly hot girls / like really viral content people. But like, could I do a meme coin? Because like, I wouldn't rug pull you. I think mostly I'd like to take a profit if I can, like to wet the beak a little. We got a KC receiver here. Let's do that. So Hollywood or Hopkins, a tough call. Hopkins was playing that last game, though he did have bonuses with it, and he played terribly. Feel like Hopkins is getting further down the depth chart with Hollywood Brown being there. So I'm going to go Hollywood here. A classic. I don't want to do a classic rug pull. I would just like to do it where it's like, like I keep the coin. I try to keep it moving in the right direction. But like do I get to sell like half the coin? Like, can I sell like 25% of the coin and then go like, cool, I made my money on this. Now I feel good about it. Is that allowed? I'm confused by the ethics of the cryptocurrencies that have no real material value. All right. It's Justice Hill time. We got the worst team in the world. We got the worst team in the world. With Jalen Hurts right now, I should read it out loud, even though I'm ashamed of it. Jalen Hurts, Kareem Hunt, Justice Hill, AJ Brown, Zay Flowers, Hollywood Brown. What can Brown do for you? Hopefully a lot, because I need it. Travis Kelce, Dallas Goedert. We need another receiver for sure. We need another RB for sure. That if we get that, we'll be okay for the positions and the flex. Whew, it's not a great journey to get there. I'll tell you what. Oh, he didn't actually play last game? Okay. I didn't watch that one. The Carson Wentz game did not make my 4 games I watched on my laptop, and I didn't see it on Red Zone very much either. So I didn't get that one. Oh, that's hurtful. Jahan Dotson. Dotson played pretty well with Tanner McKee, though. That was one of his best games of the year. He didn't play like that when A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith were out, I'll tell you what. Squirt coin. Look, if somebody wants to do all the legwork And then I could just be like the Hawk girl and be like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, or Taylor Mathis and be like, oh, they just told me about it. Oh, I'm so innocent. Oh, great. Let me know. Let me know. Coin people out there. All you coinies. What are we doing here? What the fuck do we need at this point? I think we need Gainwell. There's one player we need that really stirs your loins. This one we're really rooting for, like, just chaotic injuries. I think is the narrative behind this team. What if all the good players from the AFC teams got hurt, and what if also some of the good players of Philadelphia got hurt? That's that. Taylor Mathis is the walking bet girl, but yes, the walking boob bet. She doesn't call them walking boob bets, but they are functionally walking boob bets. Joe Mixon plays KC. Oh, that's, well, if they advance. That is true. I mean, theoretically, we still could get, you could have a Pittsburgh or, Denver upset. Like, that could happen. Shouldn't write it in the stone. All right. What do we fucking got here? We got 3 more rounds. Really need more wide receiver pieces that are going here. But honestly, yeah, for a 1-round RB, Joe Mixon here. I think we're just really trying to hurt the other teams now, really. Though they're not even in our pod. We're not hurting anybody. We're not helping anything here. Sven wants Puppet Coin? I don't know. I mean, look, I would do it. Though then I would have to cut in Eric Lindquist on it, so that'd be tough. Because the Puppet, even though it isn't really based on him, it is character-wise based on him, so that's a little bit tough. No splitsies. I don't want to share profits. I need receivers is what I need these next 2 rounds. Holy cow. Second squirt coin. Again, somebody just has to tell me how to make it, ideally. I would sell Titty Tithings. I don't think that would. That's probably more Taylor Mathis' brand than mine. Though this one, how the holidays went. I feel like I've got Taylor Mathis' jugs on me right now. Shake them around. Maybe get these views up. Sell some more Drafters affiliates. Shake those things. Really do encourage you guys to check out Drafters. Unrelated. Pretty decent shot of overlay here, which I'm pretty sure is why they're texting me last minute about it. Only about half the entries in right now, so I'd really encourage you guys to check it out. Getting $50K up top in this one, $20 entry fee for that one. They have a smaller tournament as well, which is definitely going to fill, but a $3 one with a $50K guaranteed prize pool in that. So check them both out. Again, Drafters is a great sponsor, and despite what this last hour and a half have told you, Playoff Best Ball is so much fun, and you should definitely do it. Titty Tithing is definitely the spin-off strip club chain. I do think that there should be something where, like, I'm surprised that maybe it exists and I don't know it. Cryptocurrency for strip clubs that you could use across strip clubs. That'd be pretty valuable. There was years ago when me and my friends were like just out of college, we talked about the idea of like making like a currency that would work at all strip clubs because we were probably in a strip club phase at that point. And the idea we had was like a dollar called like Foxies. I don't know why that was where we landed on, but I thought it was like cute and it's got erotic enough. With the name. So if you had Foxies, you could just go to any strip club. Like, you exchange things for like strip club dollars or whatever at whatever club you're in. What if you just had the same currency? You could keep your strip club dollars. You don't have to like use them up by the end of the night. That was the theory. I think that could make money. It might exist already now at this point. I haven't been to a exotic dancery in a while, but that's the classy way we refer to them. The gentleman's club, sure, but everybody knows that now. Exotic dancery, you can seek that by. I mean, Stroud, I don't think makes sense for this build at all. Deontay Johnson kind of does. Deontay Johnson and round 11, come on down. All this Deontay Johnson talk got me going. All right, so we got our RBs now. We need one more Philadelphia piece, and unfortunately, I think it is Jahan Dotson season. Jahan Dotson, come on down. We've got a roster now. We've got a 12-round roster with Jalen Hurts, Kareem Hunt, Justice. What an awful RB room. What am I doing? Kenneth Gainwell jumping. The other teams were better than this. They weren't great. They were better than this. A.J. Brown, Zay Flowers, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson is going to light it up in round 1. Jahan Dotson is going to light it up in round 1. Travis Kelce, Dallas Goedert. Yeah, theoretically you do, but pretend he's a player on bye. Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. It's total points. And that's Drafters for you. there's a strip club called Foxy's. Oh, there we go. That's different than a currency called Foxy's. This one's the winner. I'll tell you what, it's not duped. I'm guaranteeing that. Anyway, this is our last run in playoff best ball. I hope it was fun for you guys. It was at times fun for me. Please subscribe down below at the like button. First of all, actually, before you even do that, check out Drafters again. They help me put on the show. Great team over there. They care a lot about your dollar. They care about a great user experience. Hopefully more from them to come this year. Even advance the Drafters Million, but go check them out at drafters.com. Use the promo code SPLASH. Go fill in this tournament as well. Pretty decent shot of overlay right now. It's only half filled, so that's a Drafters selling point, and really, I don't think people are going to cram in that many entries. You saw how long it took to fill these rooms, guys, so go check it out. Drafters, pretty good shot of overlay for yourself, and you can build better teams than I did on stream pretty easily, I'm sure. Subscribe, hit the like button. That always goes a long way for me here. Just one guy running an NFL channel, an NBA channel, doing the best I can to show you my work. Starts with the rookie previews, goes all the way throughout the rest of the year. Of course, DFS still going here, including tomorrow at 11 a.m. DFS preview for both slates coming up this weekend here tomorrow. Stochastic, 15% off. Promo code SPLASH if you want some DFS data. It's not really relevant to best ball. Underdog, $1,000 of bonus cash. Play some playoff best ball drafts on there. Unabated, another sponsor. All these fine folks who joined the channel. There's now some more to add. Got to add Terrence on, and I think there's a few too. Probably laps, a few to add on. I don't know. But gamble responsibly, guys, even though it's always money time here. And follow me at Chris Spags. Follow the show at Splash Play Pod. Back at 4 p.m. on the NBA channel, so check me out there. 5 p.m. on Stochastic for the deeper dive. Check that out as well. I'll see you guys in one of them. Enjoy your days and good luck. Bye-bye.